Do you know that 95% of all sports bettors lose in the long run? Nothing is more frustrating when you spend all that time and money on gambling, looking for sports picks, or maybe paying sports handicappers, and then in the end you still don't make any money. Today, I am going to teach you important skills to master if you want to become a successful sports bettor, and I will show you how I analyze bets. One of the best quotes I heard is, "Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime." Not only that, I will show you important skills you must master if you want to win at sports betting, I will also show you 3 biggest mistakes bettors make and how to avoid them. Here is the first mistake bettors make. They don't understand the numbers and mathematics in sports betting. Without understanding this, you cannot become a long-term winning sports bettor. There is basically only one concept that works in sports betting. And this concept is used by sharp bettors, wise guys, professional gamblers, and also bookmakers. All of them develop skills and constantly attack this concept. Not understanding this concept is the first reason why most bettors don't have any chance to win in the long run. To understand this concept and develop this skill, we need to understand the odds and why bookmakers make so much money. The odds on the betting market are the prices that we are paying every day. It's not about winners, but what kind of price you pay. Like in any other business, if you will constantly pay bad price, it is only matter of time when you will start losing money. Different odds give us different payouts for the same wager. These odds are basically probabilities turned into the numbers. For example, if we have two sides with 50% of chance to win the game, the fair odds would be 2.00 versus 2.00 in decimal, and plus 100 versus plus 100 in American odds. I will use American odds for the purpose of this video, but the message is the same and all the odds represent implied probabilities. But here is the trick. When we have two teams with equal chances, bookmakers simply offer the odds of minus 110 versus minus 110, instead of plus 100 versus plus 100. They are betting on a good value and bettors are paying a bad price. Because bookmakers are also bettors. A bet can happen only if there are at least two sides who are willing to risk their money. So every time, when you place a wager of 110 American dollars at the odds of minus 110 odds, or 1.91 if we talk in decimal odds, there must be someone on the other side who is willing to put money on the other side too. Because without this, bet cannot happen. And this sports bettor on the other side is usually a bookmaker. When you bet on minus 110, bookmakers are automatically betting against you at the price of plus 110. Which means that on 1,000 bets and the 50-50 record, dime bettors make a loss of 45,000 American dollars, while bookmakers make a profit of 50,000 American dollars. No matter if you win 1, 2, 5, or even couple of more bets in a row, in the long run you will lose if you will pay a bad price. As you see, it is not about how good are you at picking winners, but how good you are at identifying the price you pay. Betting at the odds of minus 110, where team has 50% of chance, is betting on a poor value. Betting on plus 110, when the team has 50% of chance, is a good value. Sports bettors all around the world lose because they try to guess the winner of the game without focusing on the value. Bookmakers and sharp bettors win because they bet on a value. Why bettors don't bet on the value? Because they have no idea how to look at betting through the numbers and probabilities. This is also the reason why they cannot identify the value. Bookmakers and sharp bettors on the other side are constantly developing well-defined methods that can identify the value. So, if you want to become a winning sports bettor who will make money in the long run and potentially turn this into an income stream, you will have to understand this concept and then bet exclusively on the value. Not guessing who will win the game, not trying to follow picks where the whole value is already lost, but identifying value bets that are based on the numbers. Now I will explain this concept on a real example. Here we have a game between Dallas Mavericks and Golden State Warriors. We will check first the money line. Bookmakers offer the odds of plus 205 on Dallas and minus 245 on Golden State. That means that if you bet $100 on Dallas, your profit should be 205 American dollars. On the other side, you should bet $245 on Golden State in order to win 100 American dollars. Or if you bet 100 American dollars on Golden State, you will win around 41 American dollars. So the question is, what is the value? The value is simply betting or paying the price, where you get more than you would expect. So your job is to identify your fair odds for this game. Let's say that you have some predictive method, sports betting model, algorithm, or maybe you have some superpower, where you can correctly predict your own probabilities for this event. And let's say that you give 60% of chance to Golden State and 40% of chance to Dallas. In this case you still give better chance to Golden State, right? But let's turn your estimated probabilities into the odds. The fair odds based on your analysis should be plus 150 on Dallas and minus 150 on Golden State. So, where is the value? You expect that if you bet on Dallas, a bookmaker should pay you at least $150 of profit. Once we check the prices from bookmakers, we can clearly see that they are willing to pay us $205, where we expect only $150. We are getting more than we expect. And this is a value. On the other side, we should pay $245 American on Golden State, when we are willing to pay only $150. We can see now that we have a value with the Dallas if our prediction is correct. Let's check the record if our prediction is correct. So, based on our betting analysis, we say that Dallas will have 40% of chance to win this game. Which still means that we expect that they will win less games than Golden State. But because we get good price, we will still make a profit. Here is how. Betting on Dallas, winning only 40 bets and losing 60 bets at the odds of plus 205 will make us a profit of plus 22 units. Or if you are dime bettor, that would mean $22,000 of profit. On the other side, if you bet on Golden State, you will win 60 game, lose 40 game with the loss of 15.4 units. And this is where most bettors fail. They are focusing on who will win the game, instead of trying to guess what should be the fair price. Even if Golden State win this game and you were lucky in the short period of time, you still pay a bad price. And we know what happens if someone pay bad price constantly. We cannot rely on luck all the time. With more and more bets, the luck factor will disappear. Value doesn't mean that you must bet on the underdogs. It simply means that you must find a bet at odds that give you the edge over the bookmaker in terms of probabilities. For example, if your betting analysis shows that fair odds on Golden State should be minus 350, then you have a value at Golden State minus 245. Because you get more than you would expect. In other words, you pay a better price. Value bet is also a bet on Dallas plus 6 if you think that they should be only at plus 2. Despite you still think they should be an underdog, but the line is too high. A good bet is bet on Golden State minus 6 if you think they should be minus 12, for example. And you bet on over 214 if you think that the total line should be 222, for example. I hope we understand now how important it is to bet on the value and that anything else makes no sense. This is the only proven way to win on the long run. The question now is how to find and identify value and make profitable bets. When you start building a bankroll, you can compare different bookmakers and bet on the best odds, or betting on both odds will still make you a profit. Bookmakers, especially soft sportsbooks, move the line differently and you can take some advantage. Another simple way is to compare closing line at Pinnacle and then bet on some other soft bookmaker, which offer way better price. Pinnacle odds are arguably the sharpest odds on the market, and if their closing line on Dallas is plus 2, for example, betting on Dallas plus 6 would be a value with some soft bookmaker. The problem with this type of betting is that you will get banned soon and these opportunities disappear quickly. But sooner or later, if you want to bet seriously and make money, you'll have to start analyzing games and looking for mispriced odds on the betting market. In other words, every sports bettor must find a way how to research games and bet on a value, or he bet on Dallas plus 6, while his analysis show that Dallas should be only at plus 2. There are different approaches to how sports bettors find value bets. At the end of the video, I will show you my sports betting models and how I identify profitable bets. So keep watching. The second big mistake is that you are looking and paying for sports picks and you don't have any probabilistic methods and tools which can analyze games and find value. I have never seen anyone in my life who made serious money in sports betting and at the same time he was just a follower. At least not in the long run. And if you are completely honest and if you follow sports picks, you probably know the answer. The proof is always in reality, and you wouldn't probably watch this video if following sports picks would work. All sports picks, even free picks, are very expensive, despite they look cheap. There are a couple of reasons for that, and it is not even your fault. You must understand that sports betting is a relative competition against other bettors, not only against bookmakers. You must become among top 5% in the world. And this is not going to happen if you will follow other people's picks. After all, I am sure many of you already follow picks. Even if you find someone with good picks, you will not make a profit with his picks, because of numbers and losing advantage. Plus, most people have no idea how to identify who is a winning bettor and who is a losing bettor, because winning couple of months can be just pure luck. The whole thing is much more complex. Many bettors finally understand the numbers, but they don't put enough effort or they simply don't have the knowledge about how to build a probabilistic method. The difference between probabilistic and non-probability methods is that the probabilistic methods give us answers about probabilities, which we can use to find where there's a value in any given game. 99% of all picks we see online are non-probabilistic and are just opinions and guesses. And we know that without knowing probabilities we don't know what we are paying, and if you don't know what you are paying, you cannot win. Some people sell unrealistic betting systems and promise you that you will win 97% of the time. All these systems are based on chasing and martingale systems. This means that you double or raise your stakes until you win. It is crazy how many people lost huge amounts of money chasing these systems and they still get new customers. Such systems are usually scams and lead to a disaster sooner or later. Some other sports handicappers, who are more like sports fans, record a lot of videos and podcasts, write game previews and throw out sports picks based on their opinions. Some of them use betting trends and maybe add some statistics to look better for readers in an analysis. But all these betting analyses are useless and are mostly based on mainstream news and personal opinions. And the biggest problem is that none of these will solve the main question. And this question is, where is the value? All these methods are non-probabilistic, and this is not what we are looking for. After all, these following and paying sports picks doesn't even make sense. Most handicappers don't make money by actual betting, but because of selling picks, and the funny thing is that an average bettor cannot even identify a good handicapper. You know, professional sports betting is not just throwing picks, but also showing some knowledge. Once you follow picks, you will get worse odds. Because sharp bettors will move the line and you will be late. And we already explained that the key to success is the price you pay, not the couple of winners you might luckily hit in the short run. We must understand that sports betting is not a passive income, where you can invest money and go to sleep for a year and your money will grow. This will not happen. You also cannot give your money to your so-called sharp bettor, because if he is sharp, he cannot bet at the same time and at the same odds for himself, for you, and for all the subscribers. At the end of the day, if you want to benefit from sports betting, you will need to learn how to analyze games and bet on a value. And the best chance is to bet on yourself. I don't even see any point to be a follower of sports betting, because sports betting is not passive income. It requires daily analysis and betting on games. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. So, at the end of the day, what we want is a probabilistic method where we can quickly analyze games and get the picture of the game in terms of probabilities. We want to become skilled bettors who know how to analyze games and how to swim in the sports betting world in upcoming years. What we want is to look at every single game from different angles and use relevant data. We want to know what can happen in the next game, not what happened in previous games. We want something that has predictive power. So, if you analyze every single game and if you look at every single advanced statistic manually, you will spend hours and hours every single day. And even if you will try to figure out the probabilities or lines, it will still be based on your current mood and gut feeling. Because of that, sports betting models are so useful. The sports betting model is a method that can look at everything relevant in a short amount of time. Nobody has enough time to look at every relevant information about every single game you want to bet on. That's what the sports betting model does. And even if you bet for fun, sports betting models and how you can play with the numbers will give you unprecedented fun. For example, I can just type the team and the pitcher and the model will quickly show me the projected probabilities and the odds. With one click, I include all relevant data into the analysis. This is something someone else will spend 1 hour for one game. And I spend only 15 minutes for all 15 MLB games, where relevant data, current form, pitchers' advanced statistics, hitters' advanced statistics, bullpen statistics, ballpark factors, and more are already included. Predictive sports betting models, algorithms, and machine learning have become established tools in the sports betting world. Bookmakers use them to set the odds, and successful bettors use them to exploit inefficiencies in the sports betting markets. A betting model is a method that can estimate probabilities and the odds of all possible outcomes in a single game before you make a bet. A good predictive betting model helps you to find the value bets that most other bettors wouldn't find. Watching games, making notes, and putting all these things on paper is like a fight with bare hands against a tank. Because what is watching games and reading sports news? This is basically collecting the data in a very ineffective way. Nobody can watch all games every day and then take notes of all the important information and stats. Because one of the main concepts of building a model and making betting predictions is based on the question of what would be the statistics for each team if they are playing on a neutral field against an average team. We need to monitor all teams, and nobody has the time to do this. Because of that, we have tools and software that help us to collect and analyze data. These programs help us do the math thing and calculate final predictions. There are many such programs, and I believe more and more of them will be available in the future. Here are some of them: Python, R statistics, Excel, Google Spreadsheet. Then it comes down to the decision of every person and which program he can learn and use. Similar statistical concepts can be used in all programs, but the reality is that most people will never learn programming languages like Python. Even if an average person hires someone who can do things in Python, he will be stuck at some point if he wants to make some adjustments and improvements to the model. The good thing, however, is that Google Sheets and Excel are easy to understand and simple to use, and anyone can learn them with less effort. I use Google Sheets. It is free. I have good results with my Google Sheets betting models. It is probably the simplest of all of them. If we know that an average bettor will never learn Python, we also must understand that spreadsheets are something anyone can learn. This is the least complex tool, but anyone who bets on sports should know how to use it and use these spreadsheet models as an advantage against all those who don't use any numbers at all. In this world of sports betting, such a thing is necessary. Like good shoes if you want to run a marathon. Of course, you can still run a marathon for fun without good running shoes, but if you want to compete, good running shoes are necessary. If not, you will leave behind. No matter what you decide, You'll need such a tool if you even want to start thinking about winning in sports betting. And based on my experience in the sports betting world for more than 20 years, the easiest tool for an average bettor, which can be still very effective and will help you to make money, is a spreadsheet tool. Either Excel or Google Sheets. Don't get me wrong, if you can learn Python, this is a great way. Just do it. But most people are not developers and just want to bet. If you want to make a good analysis without a model and look at every single game and at every single relevant statistic, you will spend a whole day. Plus, without a probabilistic methods, you will just guess the odds. In modern sports betting, you cannot win at betting just by guessing. The third and maybe the biggest mistake is a poor mindset. You can have the best algorithms and profitable betting models, but if you will not have the right mindset, you will lose. Sports betting is changing all the time, you will face lots of stressful situations and you will need to grow on your journey. Most bettors just want amazing results without putting any effort, energy, and time. That's not going to happen. The goal should not be how to bet, but how to become a successful bettor. When betting on sports, think of it like running a business. Most bettors don't have any strategy and they have no idea what they are doing. So, fully plan how you will start betting and how you will improve on your journey. Also, fully plan how much time, effort, and money you are willing to invest. There is a big difference between sports betting, and successful betting. Success component is completely ignored by people. If you want to win in the long run, you must master all these things. Most bettors in the world are not even bettors, but sports fans who give money to bookmakers. The good thing is that if you've come so far, you already have the right mindset. Most people will not watch the video till the end or will just skip some parts. The average attention span for the goldfish is 9 seconds, but according to a new study from Microsoft, people now generally lose concentration after 8 seconds, highlighting the effects of an increasingly digitalized lifestyle on the brain. Which means that we have shorter attention span than goldfish. Which is crazy. But this is the reality. The right mindset will be more and more important, and people who will invest in their knowledge and skills will be the winners of the new world of scrolling and creating followers on social media. If you want to be successful bettor, not just regular bettor, you must do what most successful people in the world do. They constantly invest their time and energy into their knowledge and skills. Bill Gates reads 50 books per year. Mark Zuckerberg 1 book every other week. And Mark Cuban said that if he buys a book for $30 and if he get only one idea from it, it was a good investment. Successful people work not only on their own business, but also on their own mindset. If you don't improve every year, there is no chance of success. And sports betting is not a joke. So how I did it? I was always good with numbers, but my mindset was poor in the past. Once I started investing time, money, and energy into myself, things changed drastically. I started reading books, taking seminars and courses. I was not working only on my betting skills, but also on my personal development, financial education, math knowledge, and more. Combination of all these things was the reason why I am still here, why still I compete against the best, and why I am financially free without 9-to-5 job, like most people. And I can tell you that this is all possible, but with the right actions. Success in sports betting is multidimensional, and I can show you all this as you'll watch the video till the end. And this is important. I never followed any sports picks. I understand that only 5% of people actually make money betting on sports, and I knew that I will not put myself into that 5% if I will not put any effort or if I will be just a follower. Sharp bettors are not followers. They make their own bets. They move the line. This what your goal must be. And it all starts with the right mindset. Once you have a betting model, betting experience completely changes. You can finally find betting opportunities many other bettors never find. Let's make a quick summary. The first mistake bettors make is that they don't learn the numbers and mathematics behind sports betting. Sports betting is all about probabilities, statistics, and the odds. So, the first step to being a successful bettor starts by learning how probabilities work. The basics are not complex, and anyone who will invest just a couple of hours into it will learn it. Always bet on value and don't try to pick winners. After you learn the probabilities, you'll already be better than most gamblers in the world who have no idea how betting odds work and are just trying to hit the winners. But then many don't work on probabilistic methods. Despite they know how things work, they still try to guess the value. It's like being unhealthy and you know what to do, but you keep eating sugar and junk food. You need to start working on probabilistic methods, because if you want to find the value, you must know the price you are going to pay. And the third mistake many bettors make is a poor mindset. We saw so many smart people who had great potential, but they didn't have the right mindset. Sports betting is a relative competition, because the odds are formed not only because of probabilities that are generated by bookmakers, but also because of action from other bettors. If you want to truly benefit from sports betting and become among top 5%, and remember that only 5% win, you'll need to grow on your journey. Educate yourself financially, reinvest profits, constantly improve your knowledge. Imagine that LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo stop investing time, money, and energy into their skills. If you are not growing, you are failing. People always ask me how I do it. Here's some things that have helped me on my journey. I'll give you 5 more tips, and I am sure they will help you too, if you will start implementing it. I always make my own bets, and I usually stick to 1 or 2 sports at the time. I don't bother with other people's picks, I simply focus on my thing. I make only bets if my betting model shows a value. I constantly track my bets and pay attention to details. I have different bankrolls for different sports, and the biggest one is MLB. With baseball, I made the most money in my life. At the same time, I always try to build, improve, and test another betting model from other sports in the case if my current model lose the edge, so I have the cover. This is way I also have a backup. I never look at standings, because every game is unique and you must look at specific matchups with teams involved. And standings can confuse some people. I also don't pay much attention to small sample size of bets or statistics. Small sample size is usually noise, especially if you don't have lots of other details. I ignore betting trends. Betting trends have very little or zero predictive power and are more likely a manipulation of past data. Sports handicappers who don't have probabilistic methods use them to explain their previously picked game. With little research, you can find trends for both teams in a game, and these trends will never give you the answer about the probability. I only use proven advanced statistics, or I simply create my own statistics with regression analysis or some other statistical methods. When I was younger, I spent my profits for clothes, partying, traveling, video games, and other stupid things. Then I hit a losing streak and it was very stressful. For a couple of years now, I reinvest my profits into assets, not in liabilities. I invested lots of time, money, and energy for my financial education, and now sports betting profits are my help to build wealth. I constantly reinvest in stocks, crypto, NFTs, my business, my knowledge, and more. Many people dream about being professional bettors, but they have no idea what to do with profits. All successful people reinvest profits. If you have only one income stream, you are one step away from poverty. All professional athletes reinvest their profits from playing sports too. It's a smart thing to do. While other bettors panic after one lost bet, for me 10 lost bets if I face a losing streak is just a statistic, and I don't care, because I have freedom for mistakes. In the first place, use betting profits for building wealth. I also constantly read personal development books and work on my daily habits. Because you first define your habits and then your habits define your future. Sports betting can be very stressful because the only thing you can control is what you do before the game starts. After that, things are not in your control anymore. I read Stoics and meditate. This helps me to stay focused and make better decisions in stressful situations. I also don't watch games, because watching games for betting purposes have very small benefit or maybe zero benefit. Imagine that you stop wasting time on watching games for betting purposes and spend this extra time on math, statistics, and financial education. I guarantee you that you will leave this world happier, smarter, and better sports bettor with more profits from betting. Let's be honest. Watching game is just fun and will attack only your dopamine system. I am sure watching games hurts you more than you can imagine. Been there, done that. I don't panic when I lose because I bet on my knowledge, and short-term losses are always a noise. The same for wins. I simply try to be the best version of a sports bettor I can be. I bet without any emotions. Most people first select the sport or the league they want to bet, then they bet. This is wrong. I first researched all markets. Then I decided what market will I bet. I played soccer when I was young. I basically didn't know anything about baseball. But I decided for baseball because of many games and lots of statistics. For you, this can be any sport. But you should not bet because of emotions. Watch the league that you love and bet the league where you can actually make money. The same is with the games. Gamblers love to bet attractive big games. I simply analyze all games and bet only if I find value. No matter if this is the less attractive game on earth. The goal is the profit, not fun. I bet without emotions. I was learning on my mistakes, and the knowledge I share with you today is based on my 20 years of betting experience. There is no betting school that will teach you how betting works and how to find value. Most sites just teach you some basics and are not backed by dirty job and real-time results. People who told me that they will figure by themselves, they usually come back and ask me if there is any way that we can communicate, or is there any way that I show you exactly how I bet? More exclusively and in depth. And remember that everything I've shared today is not just a theory or might work. This is exactly what I've done, and this is exactly what helped me to build the life I always wanted. Now we will jump back to raw spreadsheets, where you will exclusively look inside my sports betting models and spreadsheets.
Okay, guys, and as I promised, I will show you my betting models. So we will look inside my three different betting models. Although I have created more than 10 different betting models or variations or ideas for sports bettors, so they can create different betting models for different sports. I have created betting models for NHL, NBA, soccer, basketball, and all those betting models have a little bit different concepts. And if you know how to use Google Spreadsheets, if you know little bit different concepts, then you can basically create any betting model you want. And this is something I also encourage sports bettors right now to do, because I believe that in the future this will be crucial. I believe that every sports bettor will need to find his own unique way and how his own unique betting style, because right now most bettors, what they do, they simply compare pinnacle lines with soft bookmakers. This is why you see so many odds comparison sites, which is completely legit. But with AI and technology, I believe that the lines might move immediately in the future, and those opportunities will be gone. Because I remember when I started betting 25 years ago, my local bookie didn't move the line for a whole day, and there were a lot of opportunities. Right now, this time span is much shorter, and in the future I think this will be even harder. And this is why I believe that investing your time and energy into building your own betting skill will be crucial in the future. And I believe that Google Spreadsheets are a great way to do, because they're not complex like some Python or some programming languages, which in reality most people will not learn. Okay, and right now I will show you my betting models created in Google Spreadsheets. So my number one betting model is baseball betting model. Last season I made close to 40 units. This was also my goal. Money line games were doing a little bit worse. First five innings were doing better, but the season before both were doing great. But in the long run, you will see, if you bet constantly, and I'm talking about 10, 20 years, you will have a bad week, bad month, even a bad season. But for long term winning bettors, it is important that we can win in the long run. Okay. So this is my betting model for baseball. What is the goal? The goal of this betting model is that it calculates my winning probabilities and my odds even before bookmakers open their lines. Okay, I usually do this in morning, and then of course I try to find the value. So this betting model consists of pitcher statistics, bullpen statistics, team statistics, and players lineups. So I exclude injured players. On the right side you see the players lineups, projected lineups, and then I simply select the teams, pitchers. I type the odds, bookmakers odds, and the betting model will highlight if this is qualified or not qualified based on my criteria. Okay, so let's say that we change the team. Look at this number. Let's say that we change the team to Washington, and as you see, the winning probability will change. Okay, so if I change the pitcher, let's say that I don't know, Kyle Hendricks, also probabilities will change. Okay, and I simply, if I change the odds, let's say 1.95, 1.95, then the value will change, because the value is always the difference between your estimated probabilities or estimated price that you are willing to pay against the bookmaker's price. Okay, and of course no betting model is perfect. This is why I'm looking for a little bit bigger discrepancies, which is also already here incalculated. Okay, and then of course I simply select the teams, different teams, and betting model will change the probabilities and and show me the value, if of course I also changed the odds. So I need to have my probabilities, bookmakers odds, and then when I compare, then I find the value. Okay, I use decimal odds, but this can be also turned into American odds if you know how to use American odds and Google Spreadsheets. This is very simple. I believe that this is very important, that you invest time in Google Spreadsheets or any other tool, Python, Excel, or whatever you want to use, because once you have the tool, then you need also the betting concepts and formulas. And then once you combine this, then you have all betting. You can calculate your own odds and find the value. Okay. So once I complete all the games, usually we have 10 up to 15 games every single day. Then I copy paste here, so I have all organized here, and then I see where is the value. And then if there is enough value, then this is potentially good bet. and I usually spend 15 minutes to complete all baseball games. Okay, because once you're familiar with spreadsheets, this is much quicker. Of course, at the start, when you're not familiar with computer, with Google Spreadsheets, it takes a little bit more time. But if you do every single day, this becomes much quicker. Okay, the second betting model I have created is esports betting model. I have created this betting model during COVID when all other sports were shut down, and most bettors and handicappers I know, they were in panic because there was basically no other sports and they didn't know how to create, because most handicappers that share picks, they share picks which are not probabilistic. They share more opinions than actual value bets, right? But back then I didn't know what to do, so I started researching esports because this was the only sport on betting markets, and I decided for Counter Strike. So it is also based on players' lineups. I did my best with the information, with available information and available stats that we had, because of course this is limited resource, limited statistics. Because, for example, baseball is 100 years, more than 100 years old. We have a lot of statistics. You can make a lot of analysis, but with esports, we have much less resources and information. But I did my best and put together these formulas, and betting models show the same things, calculates winning percentages, my odds, and then I found the criteria which can exploit these value bets. Based on more than 400 bets, I made a profit. And then I also have created one simple NFL betting model. So I want to show three different betting models. And as I said, I have created more than 10 different variations. So you can create a betting model based on lineups. You can create betting model which is a little bit simpler, and you can also create betting model where you can use different concepts. Okay, and this is NFL betting model. And it went 22-16. I was looking for 7-point difference. I was also tracking closing line value. I need to show you here against Pinnacle Novik. And last four games, I should probably not take them because those were the last weeks, and there were many injuries and many players didn't even play. It would be around 8 units with yield or RI plus 23%. But NFL is anyway the probably the sharpest markets in the world. So what this betting model does, I simply select teams, then it calculates projected spreads, and I need to add bookmaker spreads and the totals. And if there is 7-point difference, then this is potentially a good bet. Okay, so this was made with ChatGPT assistant, and then I turned this into a spreadsheet. I think it is a simple way to get your number before you bet on NFL. Okay, and as I said, it had profitable result this season. So those are three different betting modes that I wanted to show because each is a little bit different. But as I said, I have created different betting models. And one tip, if you bet on NFL or big sports, I think this is also one big mistake because many bettors who bet small amounts of money on sports and they want to make a lot of money, and then they try to bet NFL spreads, NBA spreads. I think this is the wrong way, because if you don't bet, I don't know, $1,000 or more, then there is no reason to bet NFL spreads. You should go with smaller markets, soft markets, where you actually have more opportunity to make even more money, because bookmakers pay less attention to this, sharp bettors pay less attention to this. And if you want to win at sports betting, this is a relative competition. You need to outperform others. And once you beat smaller markets, then you can slowly move to bigger markets. This is my tip, my advice, which nobody listened. But if you can use this path, you will see better results and better numbers. And of course, always try to find the value. Okay. So I hope you got the idea how I analyze games and how my betting models looks like. And of course, if you want to learn how to bet with spreadsheets, if you want to learn more about my way of betting, please visit underdogchance.com. The link will also be in the description. On my website, you will get all the information that you need. And of course, if you like the video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share with your friends if you think they will also get some value from this. And I wish you successful betting.